con su permiso cambio al inglés, ¿vale? Yo aprobé mi certificación de C1 en castellano de pura casualidad. Entonces me siento para trabajar en la universidad, eso es un requisito. Entonces me cambio a inglés. So what I want to share with you today is we did investigation about generation iGen. It's they called Zoomers. They called well, there are different names for that. I like the one that iGen. I will explain you one later. And what we wanted to know what are their video game preferences. Why? Because iGen is the next generation after millennials. So it's late 90s. So now the oldest iGen is 25, 27 years old, 25, 26 years old. So what is interesting about them, they are now entering labor market. So now they will have money to buy video games by themselves. And there are a lot of marketing researches done about iGens and how they buy, what are their preferences, what their aspirations. And we decided that it's very interesting to see from the video game point of view what they like about video games, because this is the first generation that is referred as digital natives. They are totally digital natives. They were born with gadgets. Do we have the iGens, or all of you iGens? It's late. Could I can? Yeah. It's starting from late 90s. Do we have iGens here? Late 90s, like. That's it? Like 96, 97, 98, 99? You're 90. Okay, so we have some iGens, so this is basically about you too. And yeah, we wanted to ask, so why do you play video games, what you like about them? And we wanted to know what video games you are missing, what elements of video games you are missing. So this was our first research question. And the next research question was, you know the rule of 10,000 hours. Do you know this rule of 10,000 hours? Yeah, if you dedicate to something 10,000 hours, you're going to be an expert. This is, yeah, this is statistic and very well researched thing. So statistically, iGens till the age of 21, they spend 10 hours playing video games. So it's like, obviously for us, for educators, we want to know, do you learn something while you're spending so many hours? And the presenter before me, the one from García, he was saying that a large amount of hours iGens dedicate to video games. So our second research question was about what are you learning? And what we did, where we're going to find these iGens who want to do our questionnaire, you know, for researchers, it's always an issue to motivate people to answer our questions. And we made a very, very detailed and very elaborated survey, which consisted of 23 items with 15 open-ended questions. When you say to someone, please, I have a questionnaire with open-ended questions, people will say, no, I don't have time for this. But we were very, very lucky. You see the number, we had 427 just brilliant answers. We had more because we invited people from University Polytechnic of Valencia, we invited from Transport University in Kiev, we invited people from Unity. We distributed this survey in using many channels, and we got like 500, I think it was 500 or something, but of course not of them were valuable for our research because some of them were incomplete, some of them was yes or no, but what we wanted a real reflection on the topic. So at the end we have 427 just brilliant answers, and we have a lot of data to share with you. We published an article, this is published article, at the top you see the reference where you can find the whole information. Of course, 10 minutes that I have, I can't share with you all, but I wanted to share with you something that is relevant to this conference. And we have 24% of women who also answered our question. So the first thing that I find quite interesting, and then we ask iGens guys, how do you start playing video games? You see that the answer was that 41% of them started because their family presented them or console or some game or some device. And then, for example, those who have children, what usually we do with our children? We usually complain, why do you play these video games? Do something useful, do some sports. But at the end, if you connect two dots, we offer them video games, and then we complain about them. And another interesting thing is that 24 of them start playing because of friends. But basically, it's the same. When you go to somebody's house and you see a console, so probably the parents or somebody from the family got it into the house. So for those who are in publishing video games, for those who are in advertising, it's a very interesting information. So maybe you should not buy Facebook advertisements, but maybe you should enter parents' chats at school and university and promote your work there. Then we ask them, obviously, why are you playing video games? And in our article, we have general information, and then we have it by gender. Here I put a graphic by gender, and you could see it was something that we obviously expected, that entertainment and fun, it's why people want to play video games. But it resulted true only for men. Men, it's blue line, orange, women. And speaking about the men, what also we find, I would say, if entertainment and fun was something that we expected, for example, alternative to negative behavior, we didn't expect it to find, but the answers were something, I feel that I'm very aggressive as a teenager, so not to do bad things on the street, I would rather play some combat video game. And another interesting thing here is difficulty making friends. People will say, oh, I'm very introvert, I don't know how to approach people. So in video games, in multiplayer, I can make some friendships. So basically for those who are in psychology or behavioral studies, this could be very interesting. And if you would see now orange line, what female agents like, they like practicing and learning new skills, which is, I will speak a little bit deeper about that. Then we ask them, what is your favorite game gender? And of course, something that we expected, like actions or sport, it's typically male-oriented games. And if you would see, again, stimulations, you see a lot of women are into stimulations, which proves our thesis before, yeah, that we like learning new skills. How we do this? We do it by playing stimulation games. And also, you could see that MOBA, zero female like battles, because we are about creating life, we don't want to destroy it. And it's also interesting that other women seems to be more open to experiments. So they put something like, I like playing social media games, or I like some serious educational games, or like some experimental game mechanics games. So basically, if you want to do some experiments, find female gamers, and they will give you good feedback. Then we, of course, ask them what features you like in video games, and of course, I would kindly ask you to pay attention to the first four. Of course, gameplay and game mechanics, it's obvious. Then it comes graphic art and animation. You see that both men and women appreciate this. Narrative and sound. That's what they like. And then when we ask, what would you like to have, what is missing? You could see that now we have great captivating story or narrative on the first place. So basically, killing for killing is not that attractive anymore, because we have a lot of games on the market like that. Because that was a third one, now it's a first one. Of course, good graphics and good music stay at the same place, but with variety of game agents that we have, it's easy to do this. Then also interesting things about gameplay or game mechanics. People are open not to a regular one, they would like to try something mixed or experimental. So those who have crazy ideas, it's your time. And what comes next, it's really very typical for iGens. You see what they want. They want to be able to influence flow of the game. They want open world. They want to customize the level of characters. And they want me to be a protagonist. And why this generation is called iGen? We have iTunes, iPad, iPhone. We have console, Japanese console, which has two eyes. So it's all about me, which is, yeah, also, we kind of expected this, but it's another proof. So basically, if you could do anything about me, I would be happy to play this game. Then we ask them, as I told you, 10,000 hours, what are you learning? What are you doing there? You must learn something. And all of them say that, yes, we think that the games, we learn something. I forgot to tell you that our condition was that we were speaking only about entertainment games, only commercial games. We asked them not to think about indie games or like educational games or games with political or social purpose. Our condition was to speak about AAA games. Yeah? So they say yes, we do think that we learn something. And you see when they, like, it's another information, what influences you have, you see both, this is male and this is female, both mention I acquire soft skills. Of course, nobody say soft skills, but the set of skills that they offered us, like team building, like time management, like perspective change, it all comes under this umbrella soft skills. So you see, also interesting that when we ask female, how about you ladies? They say no influence. So it was like 50-50. One says that yes, we have some influence, like reducing the stress, and others say no, video games, nothing. No influence in my life. So when we analyze that range of skills that they mentioned, this is something that me as an educator, as a professor, I find mind-blowing. People learn English language, and if I ask you, do you have someone who improved the English, German, for example, if you like Second World War games, playing video games? Do we have people like that? Or who learned at least some words in another language? Yeah, yes, I see the hands, exactly. Then we have geography and history, and this is also kind of proof another thing that you know that many entertainment games now want to sell more games. So how they could sell more games? They could say, look, my game teaches you something. And you know the very successful case of Assassin's Creed. They sell now this game not only that, oh my God, you have a just perfect gameplay, you have an interesting narrative, you have a good animation, but you learn geography, you learn history, you can learn Asian language, and this proves our discoveries, also geography and history. For me, I come from cultural studies. When I saw perspective change, it was like, guys, I can do a lot of things with you because it could be applied to human rights education, to refugee education, to cultural studies of all time. Discipline, it's another like time management. You could say to your parents this, look, I'm not, and basically, yes, this is how now you can justify all that hours that you play to your parents or to somebody who would say that you're losing the time. And to finish, because it's a big article with a lot of information, I wanted to point several things. When we speak about games of the future for iGens, non-linear plots, emphasize, and the personalized game experience. What does it mean? It means that before we had session on algorithms, and all the presenters, they told us that algorithms are getting more and more complicated. And with this request from the buyers, the algorithm will be getting even more complicated. And also it implies that a lot of AI, artificial intelligence solutions will be applied to video games. And this raises the whole another bunch of problems because we want AI to be human-centered, to be human-friendly, and that's what we do now in our research group. We are trying to see if artificial intelligence that now used in video games are ethical, because we all know that artificial intelligence in banking, in finance are very gender-biased, and women also get higher percent than men. Then, very interesting what we found. This one, that iGens, they say that video games inspire them to play to enter into video game production. It was 5%. 5%, it sounds like not a big deal. Why to speak about that? Of course, if we apply this 5% to our sample, which is a little bit more than 400 people, it's nothing. But how many gamers we have in the world now? Who knows the number? We are reaching 3 billion. 3 billion gamers in the world. And now apply this 5% to 3 billion people. We speak about 150 million of people who want to work in this industry. What it says to us? That the industry is definitely developing and video games are not going anywhere. They will stay with us. They will be more developed and more complicated. Then, as I told you, 95% of iGens, they say, yes, we learned something. We spoke about this, and which was very, I would say, disappointing for me as a woman who is, well, I'm not that much a gamer, but I'm in game research, that again, all our women were complaining about poor representation of women, lack of good roles, and lack of diversity. And it's also, I would say, heart-beating for me, because the first researches on this topic started in early 2000. We have articles where researchers highlighted that women are complaining, that we don't have roles to follow, we don't like representation of our bodies. Now we have 2022, like 22 years, and nothing changed. We're still on the same page. And yesterday, I say, okay, maybe I'm biased because I know a lot of negative research that I came to that room where you could test video games, how it's called. Of course, I didn't have time to test them, but I had time to analyze the posters. And out of 20 or 25 posters that I see, guess how many were with female protagonism? 3 out of 20. So if I want to play video game, and it's also the questions that we ask, what is your favorite protagonist? And in the article, you will find the answers. The answers of female and male, they were similar. So girls like the same protagonist like guys, but not that we really like them, but because they're white male, and these games that are like the most famous, and we don't have other choice. If I want to play a good game, it will be a male protagonist. So it's something for you who are in game design to think a little bit. And also I put here about female simulations, yeah? Those who are looking which market to enter, I think this has a lot of possibilities, because when we ask them why you play, because we want to learn. When we ask them what's your favorite genre, they say simulation. When we ask them what's your favorite game, we also have this in the game, they would say The Sims. So basically, we want to do some simulation games. So please, those who are in game design, do some for us. And I think this is all that I wanted to share with you today. Again, the article is, I don't know if it's still under paywall or not, but if not, just reach me and I will send it to you. So if you have any questions, I'm open to them. Self-service.
Thank you. Excellent talk. I have
Thank you.
many questions, but I'm going to
Read
stick
the
to
article.
one.
Read the article. You will find a lot of answers.
Have you dissected the data in terms of the subject's background, whether they play a lot of video games,
Correct,
they
yes.
studied, you know?
I have only 10 minutes, so I can't give you all the background. The methodology, the demography, they're all in the article, because it's 23 items, questionnaire, and of course we start, what is your gender, what is your profession, like all the questions are there, yes.
Okay, so they're the paper.
Yeah,
okay.
and yeah, you see that the
Check it out.
average age was 23, so it's perfect IGen, like a perfect profile of IGen at the end we have. And it's like diverse, because they're Ukrainians and they're Spanish, so we could compare like countries that are quite distant from one each other.
That was my second question.
Yes.
So have you found differences between the countries?
Yes, we wanted, no, well, not much. Not much, because I think that generation, all that very successful titles, like also we have them in the, like The Witcher, or The One of Us, or like Lara Croft. It's like all the games that we know, and they were very famous, and the best one are of that period of time, like 2007, 8, 9. So yeah, they play mostly the same games.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other questions? Yeah, tell me.
I've got a question. Meanwhile, you were speaking about it. Like data shows that there are like a lot of men that play, and like little percentage of women that is growing, right? So basically, it means that most of games on 20th century, no, I mean on 20s, right? Is made well. 2000, I don't know how to say it in English, was made from men, okay?
Was made by men for men, yeah.
Okay,
we all know
men.
this problem, yeah, exists in the industry.
And right now, the industry is growing in women, but it's still a lot of men for men, right? So, I don't know, but it makes sense for me, at least, that there is like this bias around men doing things for men. And of course, if a man likes this, it is almost like the market asks us, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you think that the games right now are evolving into these more female-oriented ways because of the moral or because of the market? Like,
because of the pressure, I would say.
Yeah, right. Because I don't know, like the data you showed, it's more about to please the most of the customers that are men.
Correct.
Right,
well,
so
not necessarily. If you have statistic, almost half of the gamers are female. But that's what I say, that when we ask what games do you play, we play male games because we don't have other option. There is some changes, I would say, in the industry because I look very thoroughly on that. And I see that, for example, the body representation is a little bit better. For example, if you put all the Lara Crofts that we have, Lara Croft from 90s is very different from Lara Croft from now. So she's now more dressed, I would say. Or for example, now, if you would say some combat game and we have a female non-playable character, at least she will not be in mini bikini at the war. Now she would have some clothes on her because it's war. I would say that representation is a little bit better. Also the proportions, like when we have very long legs and very big teeth and like very small waistline, which is absolutely unrealistic, and set unrealistic expectations for men and for us, because it's also pressure for us. I see that there is some changes on that, the representation, but like we have ladies here. Can you name some vivid protagonist characters in games that you play, that you relate to, that you emphasize? Well, a couple of girls that I see, we can't say. So, and yesterday, that was very, very disappointing to me what I saw there. Only 3 protagonists out of 20-25, only 3 were female, so it's sad. And I was talking yesterday to one of the guys who were investors, where they did pitch, and one of the guys, investor, he said that actually from 10 pitch that they have there were couples like female-oriented, which, I was happy to hear. But it's such a lot of work to do in this field, a lot of work.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I don't know if I answer your questions.
Yeah.
If you
like,
want, we could talk
later. Mostly your opinion about it.
Well, it's not my opinion. I'm a researcher.
No, of course,
I'm a researcher, and if I could do like a different, and I'm from game studies and gender studies, so I could give you different like presentations on gender representation, on minority group representation, how video games depict, for example, black people or Asian people or Latino people. There are a lot of research under that, so it's not my opinion. It's a research-based opinion, and if you want, I can share with you some resources to read if you're interested, particularly in this topic. Any other questions? Yeah, please. Yes.
For the research, the people that you have choose as gamers is people that has played the game, one game per year?
Yes, that's the question that was before that. I don't have time to give you all the demography. Yes, because they were from computer engineer faculty in Ukraine, computer engineer faculty in Polytechnic of University, and we ask them, who are you? Are you gamers? Are you casual gamers? Are you guru? And we have like them like majority they were gamers, between gamers and between gurus. And when we ask the same question to, guru, I don't know, hardcore gamers, how you like it more. And when we ask the same questions for ladies, it was a little bit less. It was like a little, I don't remember the exact number, but I think it was something 50-something that they're gamers. And another, they say that they're casual gamers. So they all play. And another statistic that we have, that all of iGens that we have, almost 78% of them have some kind of console or gaming device at home. So basically, we are speaking about overwhelming majority. Any other questions? If no, thank you for your attention, and let's go on.